Hello, class. This is Quiz 3 Review covering chapters 16 and 18. A person who achieves sexual arousal primarily from inanimate objects such as high heels or lingerie, or a particular body part like a foot or someone's buttocks. That person is a fetishist. Which types of paraphilias are frotteurism, necrophilia, voyeurism, and exhibitionism? We're talking about coercive paraphilias. Another hint about coercive paraphilias is that the other person's basic rights are violated. What type of paraphilia can be enjoyed alone or may involve another consenting adult? That is non-coercive. Exposing one's genitals to an unwilling observer, we're talking about an exhibitionism or an exhibitionist. The worst thing a person can do is to make eye contact, calmly walk to safety and call campus security or the police. The worst thing you can do, again, is do what you see the ladies do in this illustration. You should never make eye contact. You should never give a response either positively or negatively. And definitely don't have a conversation with the person or get too close to them. Sexual arousal from wearing clothes of the opposite sex describes transvestic disorder, despite dysfunction or feelings of distress. The person carries out this behavior. Sexual arousal from receiving physical or psychological pain, such as being spanked, whipped, or otherwise humiliated. That's masochism. This non-coercive paraphilia is commonly called golden showers. Talking about urophilia. Inflicting pain to achieve sexual arousal is referred to as sexual sadism. If you encounter someone half-clothed, masturbating, the best response, again, is to calmly ignore them because your blank could be at stake. We're talking about your personal safety. Sexual arousal from observing others undressing or engaging in sexual activity without their consent, you're committing voyeurism, and that person is considered a voyeurist or a peeping Tom or Tanya. Rubbing one's genitals against unsuspecting individuals for the thrill of it is called frotteurism. Obtaining sexual gratification by having sex with, yes, that says corpse, with a corpse, we're talking about necrophilia. Obscene phone calls are termed telephone scatologia. Intentionally restricting oxygen to the brain to achieve sexual arousal. This is autoerotic asphyxia. The prefix auto indicates that this behavior is carried out alone, which increases the probability that person might die. Other terms associated with this behavior is erotic asphyxiation, asphyxiophilia, hypo, I'm sorry, hypoxiphilia, or breath control play, are forms of asphyxia that's performed by couples. All right. Amateur BDSM, fetish, hardcore, softcore, LGBT, and gender are categories associated with pornography. Depictions of sexuality produced primarily by women that display mutuality, respect, affection, and a balance of power. This is erotica. The main reason someone becomes a blank is the inability to find a job paying a living wage. So not having job skills is of concern to this group of people. We're talking about sex workers. Incidentally, many children, teens, and adults of all races and socioeconomic backgrounds are lured into sex work. Using sex in exchange for money or expensive gifts mimics prostitution. The Comstock Act of 1873 was the first U.S. law prohibiting the mailing of blank materials such as birth control devices and birth control pamphlets. The answer is obscene. Materials are viewed as obscene when they're produced without serious literary, artistic, political, or scientific value. Materials that are patently offensive or offensive to contemporary community standards. And the themes of these materials must appeal to prurient or salacious interests in sex. Also, it's important for you to know that the definition is highly subjective. Massage parlors are sometimes a makeshift storefront for a quick service brothel. Workers could be eligible for pensions, sick leave, and unemployment benefits. Brothels could be regulated to improve safety and working conditions. Tax revenues could provide significant income to communities. All the above justify legalizing prostitution. New Zealand has blank prostitution, or they've decriminalized, not decriminalizing, they've already decriminalized prostitution. And in New Zealand, sex workers reported having a greater ability to control their work environment, and also to increasing their safety. Which of the 14 amendments protects the freedom of speech? That's the First Amendment. The purpose of censorship is to protect the public from harmful material. However, the definition is so broad and ambiguous that it prevents health organizations from promoting education around maybe, say, sex information, as well as resources to help keep the community protected. Why did I have the answer there? It's censorship. But I do want you to remember all that, okay? The consumers of blank who are apprehended most tend to be contributing members of society, so they have jobs, they're educated, they tend to be male as well as white. That is child porn. This multi-billion-dollar industry, both men and women use it, accounting for nearly 13% of all search engine requests. This is internet-based sexually explicit materials. The extra credit question will come from the video, Dartmouth Students Building a Safer Community. Review that brief video and you should have the answers or the answer that I'm looking for the extra credit question. Test is formatted exactly like quizzes 1 and 2. So it's 25 multiple choice questions plus 1 extra credit question. If you have questions or need help prior to that time, I will be in my office on Tuesday and Wednesday. I will also be online intermittently while you are taking your quiz. So I will be around to answer questions or not or, but and update scores throughout Thursday and Friday. So I look forward to talking to you all very soon and good luck.